Svila Becken, the rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And I had an interesting thought this morning. Just a little aside. This is a kind of a political video, obviously, you saw by the title. But I don't think it's totally political. I think it's more like how, like on the Howard Stern show. He would have porn stars on without it being a pornographic show. It would just be him, watching this insanity, interviewing people who were clearly insane, because they make interesting. It's interesting to hear crazy people talk. So this is kind of the same feeling I have with what I want to talk about. That I'm like watching crazy people do crazy things, and the obvious thing's going to happen. That things are imploding. So. These group of people called progressives. I'm going to call them progressives. The other word is SJW. I don't like to use the term SJW because I think it's kind of pejorative. So I use the word progressive, not to be confused with liberals. Liberals are people who are of a differing point of view to me, and they can have a conversation about it. Progressives can't. Progressives have ideas that are completely untethered from reality. Like, the penis can be female and vagina can be male. And they get very mad at you when you challenge their ideas and you ask them about it, and then they call you a Nazi. So that's the type of people I'm talking about. We all know them, and if you don't know them, you probably are one of them. So these people, they go into an industry and there's an infestation, and they then destroy it. We have the comic book industry, which is where I started. The comic book industry, I believe, is the herald of doom for the Democratic Party, the DNC. For exactly the same reason. So the comic book industry has been completely taken over by progressives. They make comics that are bland, uninteresting. People just don't want to read, and the only thing they ever do is make their things be weird allegories for how evil Trump is. And which, okay, that's your point of view, that's fine, but it's kind of boring to read. And I think most of your audience also says it's boring to read because they stopped reading it, and your industry is imploding. And same thing happened with comedy. Comedy is all Orange Man bad. Everything is bad. Which, I have to say, as an aside, it's such a tragedy that comedy can't make fun of things things even-handedly, because there's so much to make fun of. Why is there no parody of Jim Acosta? He's hilarious. He is like so smug and so lacks so much self-awareness. And I can't believe nobody thought to parody him or any of this insanity, because we live in an age of insanity. So comedy is the industry is dying. Even the movie industry is tanking, because again they're just making things that people aren't interested in seeing, so they can forward an ideological point. And so I think, weirdly, even though it's destroying all these industries, the Democratic Party have got a similar infestation. They got like 2 or 3, not even that many. Like AOC, Rashida Tlaib, I'm sure you can think of a few more, who are like these hardcore bonkers people. Interesting about AOC is that every reason that people have for hating Trump. But I want to say, I don't think Trump is the greatest human being in the history of the world. I just think he's less crazy, and I think he's kind of crazy, but I think he's less crazy than the people opposing him, who are completely bonkers. But everything they say they hate him for, they then end up loving somebody who embodies that very quality. So they said Trump is a moron who has no experience. And then they ended up loving AOC, who is a moron with no experience. They say they hated Trump because he's sleazy, the sleazy New Yorker, and then they ended up loving Michael Avenatti, who is, the porn lawyer, kind of a sleazy New Yorker. So I digress. Just an interesting aside. So the DNC has been invaded by progressives, and it's been completely taken over by them. If you watch the Democratic debates, which I did summer, and it's a fight to see who can be more bonkers. There's no border security. Border security is evil. Open borders are the only thing we can do. Everything else is immoral. But I think it's going to have exactly the same effect with the DNC as it had with the comic book industry, with the movie industry, in that they're going to implode. Like, if Joe Biden is your like reasonable centrist, you're in a lot of trouble because a couple of years ago he was bonkers, and he's just marginally less bonkers than the people like that he's running against. I don't think he's bonkers enough to get the nomination, which is crazy to me. And yeah, something else crazy is they're calling him a racist. Now listen, I disagree with Joe Biden on pretty much every policy that I can think of. In every political way, I think he's wrong. I don't think he's a racist. What? No. He's just wrong about a lot of things. But I don't think he's bonkers enough to get the nomination. So my prediction is this. I think the DNC is going to experience exactly the same thing as the comic book industry with exactly the same results, that they're going to implode and people aren't going to vote for them, and which is kind of scary because if they got this bonkers about losing one election and they're still bonkers, it's been what, 3 years, they're still gnashing at the teeth. What are they going to be like next time? I don't see any way that Trump is going to lose. I just like if this is what your opposition against him, there's no way he can lose. And the tragedy is, it's so easy to win. The way to win is just to be sane. Like the Starbucks guy, Schultz, I think was there. He was a great candidate. He was sane. He was left. He was moderate. But no, he was a Nazi. So okay, so I guess this is what's going to happen now. So yeah, I want to put this video out now so I can turn back in a year from now and go, see, I got that one right. And if I get it wrong, I'm going to delete the video. Isn't technology wonderful? My name is Svila Bekin, the rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe.